Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. I'm Linda. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. This is my weekly live series that I do every Wednesday at noon Mountain Time. My lives they're always about crafting and cards and all things Stampin' Up! It started with all products from A to Z, how to use them, different ways to use them, different techniques, and now it's just kind of whatever the flavor of the week is. So this week I decided to look at sketches. I have been toying with the idea of doing some mystery stamping with my customers, and I've kind of been flip-flopping back and forth. Do I do it with sketches? Do I do it with instructions? So I've kind of been looking at sketches quite a bit. And then for those of you who follow me, I've been taking part in Martin Stone's 30-day Christmas card making challenge. He's a demonstrator out of the UK, and a bunch of his 30 days are sketches. So on day 5 we did a sketch. I wasn't totally happy with my card, but I didn't have time to fix it. And I don't think it was the card I wasn't happy with, it was the colors. So I'm going to use it today, but I've changed up the colors, much happier with it, just to show you kind of how you can step off of a sketch and really create a really cool card. You can take it as direct as it is and copy exactly how it is. You can kind of interpret it in a totally different way. So there's just lots of options when you have a sketch. And I'm just going to go through and show you maybe some ideas on kind of where you can go with some sketches if you're looking for some creative ideas for card making. I do want to mention that Stampin' Up! Has put, if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, or if you've thought about subscribing for Paper Pumpkin, if you subscribe today or tomorrow, there's up to 50% off on refills and what do you call them? Like the extras that you can get with some of the Paper Pumpkin boxes. So if you're interested in that, go take a look on my store. It shows everything that's on sale, and then so if you're not already a subscriber, you would have to subscribe before you can take advantage of those discounts. But they're really good, so don't miss out on that. That's just today and tomorrow. And yeah, I'm gonna turn you guys around and we'll get started. Here's for the awkward turnaround here. I always get my hand in the way. Okay, so here's the link to my store if you're looking for that Paper Pumpkin sale. If you are watching, welcome. Thank you for watching. I would love it if you shared this video with your friends. Maybe they might be interested as well. Let me know if you're watching. My comments don't always tell me if someone's watching or who's watching, and the comments don't always pop up right away. There is a bit of a delay, and right now there's an echo. Okay, get rid of the echo. So here is this is one of the sketches that we had in the 30-day challenge. So this was done by Martin Stone, and I just wanted to show you how to step off of that with different ways. Oh, and before I forget, so today is episode 99. So guess what? Next week is episode 100. 100 seems like a whole lot of episodes. So I think I should do something special. I haven't totally decided exactly all what it'll entail, but it's going to be special. You won't want to miss it. Yeah, so stay tuned for next week for episode 100. I can't believe I've done 100 of these. I have so much fun planning these and coming up with stuff. I hope that you enjoy watching them just as much as I enjoy creating them. Okay, so let's get started. Here is our sketch. My first card that I'm going to come up with is this exact, this exact kind of idea. Not being super creative at all. The most creative that you really have to get with something like this is maybe come up with a color combo. So my sneaky little plan. So I haven't done today's card for the 30-day challenge, and today happens to be a color combo challenge. And the color combo is I'm not seeing my stamp pads. Where did they go? Oh, here they are. Sorry. So 2 of my cards are actually going to include this color combo. It's kind of a strange color combo being Christmas. I've always said I like pink in with Christmas. Not sure about this, but you know what? This also pushes you outside of your creative zone. Because if you're always used to having, your few favorite colors that you use, then how do you kind of ever grow off of that or find other ones that maybe you love? So these are the colors that were suggested for our card making challenge today. If you want to check it out, actually, he's got a Facebook group that's public. You can look at all the cards that have been made so far. You can participate if you want to post onto my page the cards that you make each day. Just tag me, or you don't even have to put it on my page. Just tag me so that I see it, and I'm going to do a draw at the end of the 30 days. So depending how many entries you have a better chance of winning something. So who doesn't like to win stuff? Yeah, so I'm going off of these colors. I'm going off of this sketch. So I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to pull this over so we can see all of this. Then I pulled out my snowflake dies, which is part of the Joyful Flurry bundle that's in our mini catalog. And because there's snowflakes here, like I'm really not deviating from the sketch here. So this is really not a lot of thinking on my part. So I cut out some snowflakes here. If I can grab them all. So this is my polished pink, which was one of the 3 colors. Then I took the stitched rectangular stitch dies, rectangular stitched framelit dies, and I cut out my rectangles that are here. So I had the 2 smaller ones, 1 larger one. So I did 2 smaller ones, 1 larger one, and here I've got the Blackberry Bliss and the Fresh Freesia. And then I've got my sentiment piece, just like they have in the sketch. So really, this isn't taking, if you are in a hurry and you need to get a card done, this is a great way to do it if you don't have time to think and come up with something. But it's also just kind of a stepping point. If you're a beginner, you don't know where to start, this is a great way to use it. And actually, it's great if you sketch out your cards and keep them. Then you can go back and look for things. But if you go online, there's a gazillion sketches out there that you can use. Same with for scrapbooking, same kind of thing. So all I did with this, and you know what, I'm just going to jump. I'm not even going to assemble it because I will show you the finished one. But really, all you're doing is exactly what is kind of laid out for you, right? And then, so here's the finished card. I have a different snowflake here because I was using a retired snowflake before I set that I I prefer actually the other snowflakes. So I don't, these ones, I don't know. I really like the new snowflakes. And then I have my sentiment with the Let It Snow, which is also from the Joyful Flurry. So one stamp set, one bundle. Actually, that's a lie. I used the stitched rectangles, but you could totally just cut out rectangles. You don't need them stitched. It's just a little more finished. But, you know, here you go. Color combo, sketch, card. Super simple, easy peasy. You know, you're in a hurry for a card, it's done. So the next idea I came up with was just to kind of take it one step further. So like just a slight kind of twist on the idea. I'm going to stick with the same color combo again. And then I pulled out this rectangular stamp, which is part of the watercolor shapes stamp set. This is in the annual catalog. You could have this same kind of effect even if you just took a block. If you go back and look at my old videos, what to do with clear blocks, and you can actually like put some color on your block, spritz it with water or alcohol, and just press it down, and you could make 3 rectangles that way. I'm just going to stamp them. It's totally doesn't matter. So what I decided to do is, in order to center everything, I'm starting with the middle rectangle, because then I can kind of go off of there based on how much room. And when I first did this, I wasn't sure if I was gonna maybe make the rectangle shorter for the other 2. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take, so I don't know if you guys ever use this mat. I think they still have it. With the photopolymer stamps, it really helps. And because this is kind of a distressed stamp, I want to get the best impression, because the photopolymer does not have that foam to give you that give you need to get a good impression. So I'm gonna use that. Then I'm just gonna clean off my dark purple here before I go into the light one. Isn't my chamois ugly? But I love it. It soaks up that ink and gets rid of it so easy. That too can be found in the annual catalog. So here I'm just going to go off to the side, just like in the sketch. So it's just slightly overlapped, slightly off to the side. And then I'm going to do the same thing again down at the bottom. And then we've got our 3 layers. So here, instead of interpreting this sketch as these are 3 layers of paper, I made 3 layers of stamping. So like you can see, you can totally interpret it in so many ways that just goes with whatever you have in your mind. So then I need my kind of, I don't know what you want to call those, embellishments or pieces, and then a sentiment. So I decided to take this Jingle Jingle Jingle. I really like these words in here. They're lots of fun. So I have the Believe. I have so many blocks out right now. I've got a couple projects on the go, so I didn't have enough. So I put one on one side, one on the other, so I can still see it. I'm starting with the pink. And you can just stamp it down. And then I'm going to use the darker purple, the Blackberry Bliss. Try not to get my head into the camera. Do you guys stand up and stamp over your thing to line things up? I know I always do, so I find it hard when I'm doing a video and I always want to put my head. Why is this stuck? Holy moly, I've never had that. There we go. Okay, so there's my sentiment, but there's also the other parts of it. So I have believe and then in the magic. I'm not going to go through and stamp everything, so I ended up fussy cutting this out. And then here's the card that I ended up with. So I stamped from the same sentiments here. There's a cute little Santa hat with the filler, and then there's the candy cane, and I just fussy cut everything out. So that's my slight variation on the sketch. Now, my next one is going a little crazy. It's really kind of outside of the box thinking. I'm trying to think of what the process would be to explain how to get there. I think what I did was I chose, well, A, you choose a color combo. B, choose kind of what you want to use. Like, what is your card gonna, is it a Christmas card? Is it a birthday card? Is it, and then maybe look for a bundle or a stamp set that you want to use. So I ended up choosing, I wanted to use the Sweet Gingerbread bundle. I haven't used it a lot yet, and I really like it. It was one of the first sets that I bought when the mini came out. I love making gingerbread houses with my boys. They're getting older. They don't always love it anymore. But it's got really good memories, and I just love doing it. So anyways, this one spoke to me. So I had this, and then I changed up my color. Let me show, no, I'll show it to you after, because this is the one I did for this sketch on the 30-day challenge, but I didn't end up loving my color combo. So I've switched it up, and I'm loving the color combo that I have now. I decided on Coastal Cabana, Crumb Cake, and Polished Pink. There is also a bit of Granny Apple Green. So super bright, colorful colors. I love like the Pool Party Coastal Cabana and neutrals. Like that's my thing. So anyways, this is the color palette. Here's our sketch. Here's our set. So then I said to myself, okay, what do I do? I wanted some layers, but I didn't want to just do, I wanted it to be different. I didn't want 3 paper layers. I didn't want 3 stamped rectangles. I wanted something different. So then I thought, okay, this has a hill die cut here where you can cut out kind of your hill. So then I took, let's find my pieces here because I'm not going to go through all the die cutting. I cut out 2 hills. So you can see they're exactly the same. They're just different heights, and they're wider. They're the full width of this die, almost. So when I go to put it on my piece, I can shift them so that they're layers. Then I wanted my top layer. I wanted snowflakes. I wanted a snowy, flurry background for my gingerbread house. So what I did was I embossed, I don't know if you can see the embossing on the snowflakes here. The sun always decides to come around. I tried to adjust my blind to not have that super shiny sun. And then, so the snowflakes, I used this last week, I think, is the Wintry 3D embossing folder. So there's a pine one, which I still want to use. I love this one. I just haven't had a chance to use it yet. And the snowflakes. So I've got my snowflakes and I've got my 2 hills. So you can see it's quite a bit wider than my sheet that I'm using on my card. So I could push this one all the way over to one side and I can push this one all the way to the other side, and you've got some nice layers. So you could do 2 layers of hills on the snowflake and that covers your 3 layers. I ended up not using 2 hills and I'll show you that in a minute, but here I'll just, in order so that obviously this doesn't really show, right? So I wanted it to pop a little bit more. Let me just turn this over. So I took my Coastal Cabana, because snow kind of has that blue hue to it, and I just kind of came in and gave my edge here some blue and kind of more. And then we'll do the same thing to this one. And then you can decide if you think that the 3, but again, it's like, it's totally personal. It's however you interpret that sketch, right? So there's no right or wrong. It's just what you like better, or whatever works for you. So if I push this one here and then I push this one here like this, then I've got my hills. And obviously I would cut off the ends, but there's my 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's my 3 layers. Then I'm going to take a piece of basic white and my crumb cake. And we've got these, this set is so cute. There's so many little pieces and parts. You can make it as fancy or as not fancy as you want. So there's my house. Then there's the roof. I find that the crumb cake, I thought the soft suede would be closest to gingerbread, but at full strength, crumb cake is the perfect gingerbread kind of coloring. There's like little windows and doors, so you can emboss, or you could stamp another color or a darker, like I could come in with the, here, let's come in with the soft suede. So just outlining the windows and doors like that. There's, where's the stamp set now? There's like, you can stamp the inside part of the windows, or you can stamp them, cut them out and pop them up. There's the door, and I did actually use the door. So it should be out here, and I'm going to use the Coastal Cabana. Cute little door. So you could stamp it separate and cut it out. There is a die, or if you just want it flat, then you can have a nice door in there. This cloud is so cute. It fits these sentiments on here, so you can have it coming out of the chimney and have a saying. But of course that doesn't really fit with the way our sketch is, so I'm not using that. There's a wreath, there's gumdrops. I mean, you can just go on and on. So like I said, you can take this so far. So let me just, through the magic of television, here's our cutout house. Here's the roof. Obviously I would need to glue that down. And then I did the little wreath for the house in the polished pink and granny apple green to go with my color combo. So this is what I did with the card I'm going to show you. I only used, oh, that's too high. I only used 1 layer of hill. So say I had this, then I had, so I've got my 1 layer with the snowflakes. Then I've got my snow hill. And then my middle layer here, I am going to call that my gingerbread house. So that's what I'm calling as my 3rd layer. And then for my snowflakes, I cut out trees from the sweet gingerbread dies. So one would go here, one would go here, and maybe one would go here. So still we're following the sketch, but it's completely, it doesn't look like the sketch. You would look at it and go, that doesn't look like the sketch. But it is. It really is the sketch. And then once again, I used that same die from the snowflakes just because it's perfect. And I put the Happy Christmas also from the snowflakes. And here's my sentiment. So here's the finish. And then for the background, my background is blue. So you've got the hill, you've got, and then I used a pink because I wanted more pink, but I think it looks good either way. I don't know. I couldn't decide. I was totally waffling. I did this one first and then I was like, oh, maybe it's too white. I kept waffling. What do you guys think? White or pink? I don't know. Let me know what you think. So yeah, this is the sketch. This is the card. Let me bring out the 3 cards again so you can see them all. So here's our simplest complete sketch copy. I don't know if you call it a copy, but like it's not very interpreted into very your own way. And then this one is just a little bit switched up. And then this one is a complete variation on what you can do with a sketch. So I hope that this one really gets your mind going and making you think, okay, I can have this sketch and I can totally get to something completely different. It doesn't, I don't need to have snowflakes. I don't need to have rectangles. I don't need, you don't have to have everything that's in the sketch in order to make that work as a card. So those are my cards for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed them. I did forget, I do have 2 classes coming up. I think I only have 1 event listed on my Facebook page. One is a card crank at the end of November. So we'll be making 20 cards. That one's fun. I used to do it all the time before COVID and I haven't done it since. I can ship out the kits to you if you want to do it on your own, but I am going to hold an in-person event with limited numbers. So register for that as soon as possible if you want to come in person. And then at the beginning of December, I'm going to be doing an mini interactive album. I've done one that is a Christmas version. I'm going to be doing another one when I do the class that's not a Christmas version. I will give you all the options on what you need for it so you can buy all the papers and stuff that suits whatever album you're wanting to make for you. And that's going to be at the beginning of December. I haven't put that one out yet, but look for pictures and the ad on my Facebook page, Instagram. Yeah. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week. 100th episode next week. Don't miss it. I have to come up with something good. Don't forget there's the paper pumpkin sale right now. You don't want to miss out on that if you love paper pumpkin. And we'll see you next week. All right. Bye.